Reactionary or reactive abuse is a pretty common occurrence within the cycle of abuse. Today I'm breaking down exactly what that is, how it works, how the abuser uses it for control and manipulation, and what to do about it. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Kristin. I'm a life and relationship coach and a clinical hypnotherapist that helps women to heal after toxic relationships so they can love themselves and have healthy, happy relationships in their life. So do not forget to subscribe to my channel for new content every single week. So reactive abuse is what it sounds like, a reaction to abuse. And this is a manipulation that the typical abuser will use on their victim to have their victim react in such a way that they get to blame you for being abusive. So essentially, the abuser will provoke you to a point that you react abusively, aggressively, in some kind of way that maybe not even be typical for you, so that they can then play the victim to you. I want to sort of caveat here that today I am just talking about people that are in emotionally abusive situations, not physical abuse. I would not say that if somebody was physically attacking you and you fought back that was reactive abuse. That would be trying to save your life. And I really hope that if you're in any situation like that, you do not allow that behavior to continue in any way at all. And you get out, and you get out now. So basically this happens over time. You've been experiencing the emotional abuse. You've kind of just been taking it. You've been taking it. Maybe they're name calling you, making you feel bad about yourself, just tearing you down. And then one day it's like all of that anger and everything that's just been bubbling up inside you just comes to the head and you just snap. That is reactive abuse. Maybe you smash things. Maybe you take their clothes and throw it out the window, and you just have this reaction that is so far outside of what you would consider normal for yourself. See, one of the characteristics is that you act out in a way that is really out of integrity with who you are. So then when the abuser tells you like, oh my God, you're the crazy one, you're the abusive one, you're this, you're that, you might actually believe it because you fell into this manipulation. You fell into this trap and you gave that person exactly what they wanted. Because emotionally manipulative, narcissistic people, they don't take any responsibility for themselves. They don't take any responsibility for the abuse that they're putting out. So they then blame you for being responsible for how they act because of how you act. So if you have been in a situation like this and you just have these thoughts of like, I don't know what got into me, this isn't even me, you are probably stuck in this cycle. And the abuser is doing this on purpose. They are provoking you on purpose. They are doing these things to exude power over you. And by you giving into this trap, into this manipulation, you are essentially handing over your power to them. If I just had to put it into a single term, reactive abuse, when you react, it is a loss of self-control. And there is a lot of information out there about this, and I see a lot of people use this as a way to scapegoat responsibility, and I'm not going to do that, because when you scapegoat responsibility for any of your actions, you're not taking responsibility for yourself. And if you're not taking responsibility for yourself, you are still living in a place where you are a victim. Now, there's a time where you might be being victimized, and there's a time period where you do feel like a victim, but to empower yourself and to heal and to get to that next stage of healing, you have to take responsibility for yourself and responsibility for your actions. Think of it like this. If you were to cut somebody off in traffic and then they decided to rear end you because of that, and then they said, well, you made me do it. Does that even make sense? I'm pretty sure that they chose to floor the gas and to run into your car. You didn't make them do it in the same way that whoever is abusing you did not make you counteract that abuse with your own abuse or hurtful behavior. And if you're uncomfortable hearing that, it's just time to take responsibility for yourself. It's not fair, and you are never the cause of abuse. You are never the cause of abuse. But you do get to take responsibility for your actions. That is what empowers you. That is what moves you forward. We all make decisions, and we must take responsibility for the decisions that we make. Now, in that time, in that scenario, it might have felt like that was the only possible decision for you. There's multiple reasons for that, but a lot of times when you have that sort of snapping, there is your survival brain that takes over and reacts. It's not logical, and that's why it doesn't feel like you, because it's not consciously you. And now that you are not in this situation and you are aware that this is really just massive manipulation, you can start to see it differently. You can take responsibility and change your perception of that situation. You were provoked, but you still chose to react in that way. Looking back, there's some questions that you may want to ask yourself. Was there a different thing that you could have done in this situation? Was there any point before that reaction that you could have stopped it and chosen a different way? Was how it all played out the only way that it could have gone? Could you have responded instead of reacting? And should you be in any situation like that in the future, what could you do differently? That's part of the healing process. If you are out of that abusive relationship, you can look at it differently, do some of that work, and be able to forgive yourself for some of the actions that caused you to feel like you were really out of integrity with yourself. If you are still in that abusive relationship, you need to be able to recognize this cycle and not feed into it. That person that is provoking you is feeding off the drama. It's supplying them. It's making them feel good, feel better, feeling like they have power and control over you. And if you are feeding into that cycle, they do. You are giving your power away. You want to ask yourself how much more you are willing to put up with, how many more times you are willing to act out of character and out of integrity with yourself, and at what cost. And I also want to note that there can be some serious consequences to your reactions if they do get out of hand. And a narcissistic person will use this against you over and over and over again, and just reinforce that low self-esteem and reinforce the guilt and the shame that you're already feeling. They may also use this in public settings where they provoke you in a way that only you know is provoking, and then when you react, everybody looks at you like, what is this person reacting about right now? Wow, that escalated quickly, kind of thing, and it makes you look bad. This is a form of gaslighting, which if you don't know what that is, I talk about it in this video in depth. You're going to want to go check that out, because this is a massive form of gaslighting. Turning other people against you, making yourself feel like you're crazy, making other people think that you're crazy. So now that you know what this is, one, if you're in that situation, you have the power to stop it. You have the power to take control over yourself and your life and respond versus react. If you are outside of that scenario and you were still feeling badly about it, or you were lacking understanding of how you could have possibly reacted that way, I want you to have compassion for yourself. Compassion and understanding that there is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are a human being that was being manipulated. Forgive yourself. You're going to want to increase your self-worth. These types of relationships just do a number on your self-esteem and your self-worth. I have a really beautiful exercise for you in this video that if you do will absolutely increase your self-worth. And of course, you're going to want to stop giving your power away. Reconnect to yourself. Reconnect to your internal power source. Meditate. Go within. Connect to just how powerful you truly are. I have a beautiful meditation that you can download that is going to help you with that. I, of course, am going to link that below for you. And don't forget, you can form new habits. You can form new ways of being through subconscious reprogramming. It does not matter what you've been through in your life. It doesn't matter the experiences that you've had. You get to decide how this goes for you. You get to tune into who you really are, pull that power outside of you, and create the life that you want. Of course, subconscious reprogramming is my jam. It is a lot of the work that I do with clients. If you want to work with me to help you heal and create a better future for yourself and your life, you can apply to my one-on-one program. I will link that below for you. As always, thank you so much for watching today. If you found this video helpful, please like it, share it with another person that it could help too. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out these other videos.